Yesterday, popular YouTuber ClearValueTax raised $60,000 from his fans, and today you're going to hear from the man himself because I actually spoke on the phone with him.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, how's it going, Brian? So yeah, go ahead and buckle up for this one and let's get right into it. So what ClearValueTax did was he released a video saying that he's selling 10% of his YouTube channel revenue. And to be honest, I definitely had some questions about it, as well as many other people in the finance community. And so I'll be honest, he did get a ton of support in the comments from his fans who trust him. And it was so much so to the fact that he actually set a goal to raise $60,000 by the end of April. And he actually surpassed that goal within the first hour of the launch. Now, I do want to point this out, though. You did have some people in the comments who were unhappy about this. You know, you had people who thought that it was an April Fool's joke. Others thought that it didn't really make any sense. And overall, I think that the reason why you kind of had some of these comments is because this announcement is affiliated with a company that nobody has ever heard of called Gigastar. I mean, seriously, what the heck is Gigastar? And also, I think other people are kind of raising an eyebrow at this because of the fact that crypto was involved with this. And we know crypto's had a lot of controversy lately, right? And so I think it's had a lot of people sketched out. And so let's actually go ahead and explain how this works, okay? So the way it works is fans of ClearValueTax are able to participate in this investing thing by investing in something called revenue sharing units, otherwise known as RSUs. By purchasing revenue sharing units, investors can share in the channel's success by receiving a portion of the channel's net YouTube revenue. In addition, investors may receive channel revenue tokens, otherwise known as CRTs, which are the digital representation of the revenue sharing units. And they are basically used as a ticket to receive distributions that are associated with the investment. Now, the revenue sharing units are offered in 3 separate tiers, which as soon as you click on the link, you're able to see it. It's gold, platinum, and diamond. Each tier obviously costs a little bit more money, and each one is represented by a channel revenue token on the blockchain. Now, the issuer has a smart contract on the blockchain through which distributions on the revenue sharing units will be sent to investors. Once the investor fills out the documents on the Gigastar portal, the investor then provides the issuer with the information necessary to link its crypto wallet to the smart contract. Once an investor's wallet is linked to the smart contract, all distributions on the revenue sharing units will be paid to the investor through the smart contract in the form of USDC, which is a stable coin, which the investor can then, obviously, like how crypto works, they can convert their USDC or their stable coin or their crypto, whatever you want to call it, into US dollars. Now, I wanted to be fair and give ClearValueTax an opportunity to answer some of the questions that I had regarding this. And so I spoke to him on the phone, and here's how that conversation went.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, how's it going, Brian? Yep.
Good, very good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just wanted to ask just a few more questions. And again, I do appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you being so open and just taking my call, period.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, cool. So I actually did go over the math in the SEC docs, and it absolutely checks out. It turns out that if somebody were to buy 1 token of your channel, and let's say your channel brings in $600,000 in revenue next year, that person would literally get a 100% return, which is very generous. And obviously you talked about that in your YouTube video. Some of the concerns that I got, or just general question, is kind of like, what would you get out of this? And what would Gigastar get? Because, you know, there's very few people out there on YouTube that would offer this kind of thing to their fans.
Yeah, so, I mean, let's break it up then. So, what am I trying to get out of this? I'm trying to get out, basically, the whole concept is that people who own the token, they would share in the growth of the channel. So, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the people to hold the token to help me spread the word, help me get more visibility in terms of liking the videos, commenting on the videos, sharing it on social media, whether it be Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or wherever it may be. That would be for the benefit of both parties, for myself as well as the token holders, because of course, if the if the videos and the channel gets more views, then both parties would end up making more money. So it's basically partnering up with people that hold the channel revenue token, the CRTs. But of course, I wanted to offer it at a good price because I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm not trying to be greedy. I want people to. I want to see people make money, and that's why it's for 10% of my channel. I'm not doing this with like, a greater majority of the channel. So I just wanted to offer a piece of it. And I know that there was overwhelming demand. It sold out really quick in minutes.
Yep, it did.
So I felt really bad for people that couldn't participate. I know there were people rushing in. Some people couldn't be there on time, whether it's because of their work or whatever obligations that they had. But I would like to do another round, but I just want to ensure that the process is smoother before a secondary round.
Got it. How long do you think you would continue this? How long do you think you'd do this? How many years do you possibly project?
In terms of making videos on YouTube?
Yeah, I guess that's a good way of putting it. I guess yeah, go ahead.
That would be in everyone's best interest because let's just say that I stopped making videos for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
In that event, obviously the YouTube channel's revenue would fall dramatically. The people that hold the CRTs would make much less money. But they're the evergreen videos that would continue running on for, I don't know how long that those videos would get good views for, because, there's some videos that are out there for 5 years, 10 years that are evergreen videos that still rack up a good amount of views. They still continue to produce revenue. So if I just stopped doing YouTube, then of course, I wouldn't make much YouTube revenue, and the people that hold the CRTs would get less revenue because the channel makes less revenue. But in terms of me personally, what I want to do, YouTube is such a very important tool, for me, for anyone, for any kind of influencer, because it is like the primary point of contact, the connection. And obviously, I want to grow the channel, which is why I'm doing this. So I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So to answer your question, the longer the better. The more years I can be popular or maintain relevance on YouTube, that is in my best interest as well. And I'm going to keep fighting and pushing for that. And I'm clearly doing this for the growth of the channel, so I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. And again, I offer 10% of my channel. So the majority of the YouTube revenue channel revenues, of course, ends with me. So no, I don't plan on stopping anytime soon.
Got it. How did this entire thing come about? Was this something that you thought of, or did Gigastar approach you with this and say, hey, we think this will be a good idea. Here's how we're going to do this. And then you kind of said, yeah, I think it's a good idea too. Like, how did this entire thing come about? Like, whose idea was it?
Well, that's a very good question. Gigastar approached me, and of course, it was a very long process, especially with attorneys. Them going through all the legality stuff, through all the agencies on their end, through SEC, through FINRA, all that. And it was a very long, drawn-out process because, of course, this is the first of its kind. I'm the first to do this, so it is literally the first, absolute first. So I put a lot of thought into it, and I reviewed it, I thought about it, and I analyzed, and I thought it was a good idea.
Got it. I looked up the address for Gigastar, and I saw that they are headquartered in Chicago. They are, at least that's what it says. It says they're in Wilmette, which is like kind of by Evanston, which is not too far from Chicago. Did you know any of the people that like work for them at all or beforehand, or was it just a completely random reach out and it just kind of worked out?
I actually did know the CEO.
Got it.
And he reached out to me, and that's how it got started. And I knew of his just his history, how successful he was before in terms of bringing up and working with startups, and he had a very successful history. So he explained to me the idea, and I thought it was a great idea after a lot of analysis.
Got it. Okay. Okay. My second question, or I guess I don't even know what question we're on at this point. My next question would be regarding the currency conversion risk. And I know it's listed. There's a small section where they talk about it, but I just wanted to kind of hear your thoughts on it. So basically,
you know what? I want to stop you there because I think we overlooked the question. You asked previously how Gigastar makes money, correct? I didn't answer that.
sure. Yeah, I did.
Okay, yeah. So it's in the offering docs. Basically, Gigastar makes money by they take 10% of the fundraising. So I raised approximately 60,000, correct? And then there's a 10% cut that they take. That's how they make money. Additionally, they charge like a fee for maintaining and processing all the payments and all that stuff.
Okay.
So it's not that huge, but it's something that they get paid monthly.
Got it.
It's like a service fee.
And where does that money come to pay them, that service fee? That comes from...
They are going to charge me a percentage of, like, additionally, this is on top of the 10% that I gave up. Like, they're going to charge me, like, a smaller percentage on a monthly recurring basis. That's for all the processing of all this, and I thought it was very reasonable, so, you know, I agreed to it, and I don't know if that's written in like the public contracts or what's out there for the SEC docs, but it's a small percentage that's paid on a monthly basis, but that's outside of 10% that I gave up, that I surrendered.
Got it. Okay, and then
what was your question about the payment methods?
Yeah, my next question will be about kind of like the currency conversion risk. So, like, you know, the way that people make their money, they convert their CRTs into USDC stablecoin. And, you know, just last month, USDC actually had a little bit of a depegging event.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I covered that. And yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so that happened, which caused it to hit an all-time low of 87 cents. You know, normally it's thought that it's supposed to be redeemable by 1-to-1 to the US dollar. So can you just kind of speak on that, or if there are any plans to kind of tackle that risk to investors? As you know, there's been a lot of drama going on with crypto the last few years.
Oh yeah, I mean, after the whole, that's what happened. You're exactly right. I think it was a little bit over a month ago. I saw it at 85 cents, the depegging. That's when Silicon Valley Bank, the whole drama was there, and then USDC. I think they had about was it $3 billion in that bank?
Yep.
Over the FDIC limits, and that's what caused the scare. Of course, the government, they stepped in. You know, they backstopped the whole thing, so it went back to 1-to-1.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. I was covering that story as well, and no, there's always that risk, but I don't know exactly how they're going to do it in the event that, let's just say the crazy event that USDC goes down. I don't know how they're going to do it. So you'd have to read the disclosures, but I imagine that they would just switch to a different stable coin.
Okay.
But
yeah, I was going to say,
don't quote me on that. That's
okay.
a technical thing that's processed on their end. That
okay.
That's not my control.
Yeah, I looked all throughout because I read the entire SEC document. It's like 54 pages. I read the whole thing. I didn't see anything that talked about in the event that something happened to USDC. So that's why I thought it'd be good to ask you.
Yeah. I mean, in that event, like, I mean, you should probably talk to Gigastar about that. But
I did. I'm glad you said that because I want to put it out there. I did reach out to Gigastar. They have not reached out to me yet, but yeah, I did reach out to them.
Oh, I'm sure it's been crazy on their ends, the whole processing of all this.
Okay.
And on top of that, we have Easter tomorrow, so I bet you can get in contact with them early next week.
Okay. Cool. Then under the risk factor section in the SEC filings, it says that the CRTs are not securities and are not entitled to distributions. The CRTs are a digital representation of the RSUs. So my question is, given that the channel revenue tokens are not listed as they're not securities as listed in the SEC filings, they may not be subject to the same regulatory oversight and investor protections as traditional securities. And we're now in this crazy regulatory environment with the SEC and what securities are and fighting against people who are selling things that are not securities. So that's leading me to think that it really increases the risk for investors, and I just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
In terms of that, when it comes to that legality, how technical that is above my legal pay grade. So that was what was all discussed between the attorneys of the SEC, my attorneys, the attorneys at Gigastar. That's just going to be the technicality and legality, the technicality of those, like the legal framework, all that. That's way above me. So I'm not the right person to ask about that.
Okay, I appreciate that. So that's something I could probably ask Gigastar or something if I get in touch with them.
You can ask Gigastar or the SEC, but if you want to talk about the risks, I'd be happy to give you more details or try to answer to the best of my knowledge. But in terms of like the legality and all the technical stuff,
okay,
everything checked out. I mean, of course, it checked out with the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
You could go onto the SEC website. Everything's listed there, so it got approval. Everything's fine. But in terms of technical questions like that on the legal side, I'm probably not the best person to ask.
Okay. I'll ask this last question then, and then if you're not able to answer that either, that's fine. But I did notice something interesting in the SEC documents. So at the top of page 14, it says basically how to purchase the securities. And then it says, in order to purchase the CRTs, the channel revenue tokens, you must do blah, 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 sign up for Gigastar. But then when you look under risk factors section, it says that the CRTs are not securities. So I was just a little confused by that because on page 14, it kind of makes it seem like CRTs are securities, but then it says that they're not.
You see, it's too technical for me.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to ask the legal community, the attorneys out there.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, those were the only questions that I had. I know we spoke on the phone yesterday, so, we got some good questions there. But, yeah, just wanted to ask a few more things after I started reading last night. And, yeah, those are my questions.
Anything else? Happy to help.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, that's really it. And, I just want to reiterate that, after looking at everything, it really does look like, if your channel brings in the exact same amount of revenue next year that it did this year, people will get a 100% return, which is,
But that's the thing. I don't want the same exact revenue. I want it to grow.
Right,
so
right.
If that's the case, then the payback period will be even better.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, those are just I don't know whether you call it dividends or dividend-like payments, but the monthly payments, that's just for the monthly payments, the return on that. But imagine if there is a secondary market, how much are these going to sell for? How much could they sell for? And we don't know. That's the thing. So we want to see the growth of the channel. So not only do the dividend payments grow, but also the resale value on the secondary market, if one exists, because there's a 12-month lockup period. That's in our best interest to see the price of that grow and grow exponentially.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are overlooking that because they're just looking at the return from the monthly payments, but then they have to take into consideration that they're still holding this asset that has, I would imagine more than a 1x valuation on the secondary market. So I believe that whoever got in, they could, if there is a secondary market in 12 months, that they could sell it for a very nice profit on top of the dividend-like payments.
Got it. Okay.
But that's something I want to stress because, again, I'd love to do like a secondary rounds. I would definitely be considering the same valuation, like 1x. And I was just very, it was good that we sold out, obviously. That showed that there's demand, but it was also sad because I know there's a lot of people that wanted to participate because they felt like it was a great deal, a great valuation, but they couldn't because it was just the scarcity because the quantity was limited.
Got it. Do you think you started something new here by the fact that you're basically the first YouTuber ever that I found that's giving away 10% of their channel to the loyal fans in hopes that they help your channel grow and talk about it and share it and different things like that?
Yeah, that was another thing that really, piqued my interest because I've never seen this done before, or, at least gone through the legal process to make it official. And I thought it was a really cool concept because you're basically partnering up with the people, and it's in their best interest to see me grow. It's in my best interest, to grow and to help people too. So I thought it would be a great partnership. and we'll see where this goes. I know Gigastars, they're planning on launching with many more influencers in the near future. I just want to see how this goes in terms of the view counts, in terms of the progress, all that. But I would definitely consider another 10% in the very near future.
That was going to be my next question, if you were going to add more to that. So, okay, I got that answer. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, thank you for your time. And if you have any more questions, please let me know. I'd love to clarify any kind of confusion or whatever the situation is for you.
Yeah, sounds good. And I just want to say I really appreciate this. There's a lot of people out there that I reach out to, and they're not as welcoming as you are. So I just want to say I really do appreciate this.
No, it's my pleasure. I just want to be open. I know there is a lot of confusion. I understand that there were hiccups. Well, not hiccups. That's the way you play very lightly. There were problems with the whole process because, again, this is a whole new system. It was a whole new procedures. This is brand new, first time ever. So a lot of people understand that, but there are still a lot of people that got frustrated, and I don't blame them.
Yep. And you can expect that, something new like this, there's going to be a lot of issues. People are going to be upset, but, all you can do is do your best. So,
yeah. Yep. Just to clarify for people that don't understand, I'm just referring to, like, the whole process of purchasing the CRT. People had trouble uploading their, information, or they had, a processing error, or, the first few minutes, everyone just jammed into the system and it caused errors. So those are the problems I'm referring to. A lot of people understood, but still, I get it. It was a frustrating process, when it happened.
Yep. Yeah. Well, all right. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for giving me your time, and I appreciate you going through and breaking everything down and answering all the questions.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Okay. All right. Talk to you later. Thanks, man.
Thanks. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, that is the interview. You guys take from that what you want. I let the man do the talking. He said everything he wanted to say. I asked all the questions. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments regarding this entire thing. Will you be investing in Brian, aka ClearValueTax's YouTube channel, if he opens up another round of funding? And yeah, just leave me your overall thoughts. Okay, thanks you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.